Cover today.
Exactly. But this is an important one I just wanted to bring up. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is important because it really opened up the doorway that not only do devices get changed by human intention, but that device in turn can be a source of much healing. And we'll come back to that because Buddha's relics are a very specific type of device.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So we're saying that our brain in this light bulb, you'll see a little brain there, but it's all this circuitry. But it's dim, it's okay, it shines a light. But what we want is to be like this, a very sharp, focused, coherent source of information. Coherence, laser sharp, no doubts. Of course, it went on to change pH of water. And here's the summary of the data of Tiller's intention to change water by 1 pH unit up and 1 pH unit down. Now, part 2 has this. I'm not going to go over the graph again. We have so much to talk about. This is the graph for pH water going down. And this is the beauty. Tiller, not only when you do target experiments like this, it's not just your attention on the target and collecting the pH units over time. You want to look at the ambient conditions of the lab itself, okay? And he did that. And he noticed something very peculiar. The air temperatures all over the lab were recording this air temperature recordings throughout the experiments of the targets, and he noticed that they were oscillating. Now, you can't have such rhythmic, absolutely like a seesaw pattern like this ever. And we feel, when I move my arms around, I feel air temperatures and fluctuating air. And the darker thing is the water pH, okay? I realize there's a lot of data here, but I want
you can see the concept. Yeah.
Yes, I want you to get the greater pattern here. This is very abnormal.
Right.
And so he asked himself, is it air conditioning? Is it diurnal rhythms, daytime, nighttime? What's going on? And he realized, let's make sure this is an air current. There's Bernard currents. It's a specific type of convection currents described in physics. And if it was air and you put in a fan, it should obliterate this right away. And he did that, and it continued. It was the big clue that this isn't material air molecules doing that. This is the physical vacuum that is described by Dirac. I'm giving you lots of physics here. I apologize. The book goes into it. I'm just going to keep insisting on that.
Well, I just think that Dirac C, it gets into, just really bridges all the metaphysical stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's where unmanifest becomes the manifest. Exactly. Dirac's equation was going into the physical vacuum, all right? Physical vacuum means there's no stuff in there, but it has the field effects.
Right.
And once you have enough energy, in this case, human intention energy, up pops material stuff. It is the blueprint, but we're jumping the gun. Tiller did some very interesting mathematics, Fourier analysis, and he realized that all of these waveforms are nesting into each other. It's like harmonics. This is like musical notes. The whole room is like music to the ears, except we couldn't hear that, right? If we had the sensory apparatus to really hear what the room was doing, he said it's like the room was pumping, like a beat, like harmonics. It was, when he did that in that meetings, he used to do this, Nisha, the room is different. And I realized when I was in his labs, I felt it. That this isn't a normal physics room with all the disarray in the computers and charts. I felt rested. I felt like it was a cathedral space.
Mhm.
And that is saying something. So really, what we live in, and I hope you can see my cursor, is right here, conventional physics.
Yeah.
Okay, conventional physics. And when Tiller's intention is taking effect, you see that the curve goes up to a new physics. This is normal space. The conditioned space is that rhythmic up and down seesaw, and it's enhanced reality. And this is what he's describing, that new physics. Okay, and over time, over a few months, we were really operating in a very new physics, and the materials in that space exhibit totally new behavior, like the water pH. It's not normal anymore because we didn't add chemicals, we didn't electrify the water. It's in this space,
Right.
and it has new hydrogen ions. Where did that energy come from? That's where we're coming to.
Okay.
So this is the thing about it. I hope you can see it, that Tiller made the connection that as the water pH changes, that is your indicator of how much that space is conditioned, how much that space is elevated. And he calls that reciprocal space. This is direct space, ordinary physics, and reciprocal space, or R space, okay? And the water pH is our indicator, and that becomes relevant as we go on. So reciprocal space is higher energy. It's a thermodynamic pump, and energy always flows from high to low, okay? That's the gradient. That's the